underscore in numerical literals, then string and switch statement, then diamond operator, then the multi-catch, and lastly the try with resources. Okay. Oo nga pala, they are all under the project code. So, okay, so let's go for something. Okay, so let's go with the numerical networks. Okay, before Java 7, we have three literals, basically decimal, octal, and hexadecimal. But in Java 7, they added another one. So binary literal. So it's preceded by 0 and D. So okay, mainly used I think for bitwise operation. So instead of using decimals, I can now use the binary literals. So next, we have the underscore numerical literals. Okay, this is for visual purposes only. So before Java 7, we have a large number, let's say. Okay, it's difficult to determine the value without explicitly counting the zeros. So in Java 7, they made, you can now use underscore. So basically you can group the digits according to, let's say, the hundreds, thousands, and millions. So basically visual purposes only. So if you equate that, let's say here, basically they are just the same. So it will return true. So next, we have string and switch statement. Okay, for Java 7, you can only use string for those that can be recently converted to int. So short, far, and pipe. And you can also use a enum. But for switch statement, there's no support for string yet. So before Java 7. So you will usually use something like this before Java 7. You have an if-else statement with to equate the string, specifically using the equals equals method of the variable. So with Java 7, you can now use something like this. You have the string case statement, but beware that you have to have a you have to have a basically to have a check before the switch statement, because this can throw a null pointer exception if size is basically none. So yeah. But for the if else, you can basically interchange. Instead of size that equals short, you can put the short that basically short that equals size. So to prevent null pointer exception. But basically, with the switch statement, you have, let's say, a cleaner layout. Basically, saves you some keystrokes. Okay. So that's it. So let's go to the next. Okay, diamond operator. Actually, this is not actually a new operator. They just call it diamond operator. So diamond operator. So before Java 7, you have to explicitly specify the type in the declaration and the type in the initialization. So what they do in Java 7 is you can now remove the right part. So the compiler can implicitly infer the type based on the type in the declaration. So that's it. Save you some other keystrokes. So yeah, that's code duplication. Multi-catch, I think this is very helpful. Before Java 7, let's say you have some few catch statement, and basically you do the same thing for catch statement. Let's say you want to log the error or the exception. You basically have duplicate codes here, right? But what they do in Java 7 is you can now multiple catch in a single catch statement. So basically, you separate each exception type with a pipe. So yeah, that's it. So basically, you can now, So the second catch is basically doing that, and you have less code duplication. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So and finally, the try with resources. Okay, before Java 7, when you use a resource, you have to explicitly close it. So you place it, the close method call in a binary statement. Okay? So, but in Java 7, you have a new syntax. You have a try with an argument. So basically, the argument is a resource. It should implement the auto-closable interface so that it can work as an argument in the try statement. Okay, so what does this do is the finally statement, you can remove that, and the JVM can implicitly call the close statement, the close method, the close method of the resource. Okay, so that's it. So you can remove the binary statement, and that's it. Okay. And when you have multiple resources, you can just separate them with a semicolon.